I get one question a lot. When will I ever be satisfied? I'm very happy, but I'm not satisfied. I've accomplished a lot in my life, and I'm very proud of that. But I won't be, you know what? I run past a cemetery a lot at home. And when I run past the cemetery, it saddens me because there's a lot of people there, not because they're dead, because a lot of untapped potential. A lot of us die never tapping into our full potential. And I often look at wash rags when I'm wringing them out to hang them up as my soul. And I won't be satisfied until every drop of that wash rag, which is my soul, is completely wrung out. So in my life, I won't be satisfied until everything I have in me is completely out of me. And that's when I'll be satisfied. I just had an intense conversation about managing your expectations, how people need to manage their expectations, and about tripling down on your strengths and don't worry about your weaknesses. If anybody out there knows who I am, I totally disagree with all of that crap. I think it's crap, and that's exactly how the people in the world become weaker people. It's by capping your brain. It's by putting this kind of garbage in it about not attacking what you're not good at. It's about putting a cap on managing your expectations. If I lived that way, if I had any kind of thought process like managing expectations, I would be a 400-pound man by now, working some job that made no money, and I would never know my capabilities. I would never have become a Navy SEAL. I never took Ranger School. All these things I did, I never. It's another early morning. You're probably thinking, I have so many videos with me putting my shoes on early in the morning. Well, the videos are all very different if you really think about it. Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not going to work out today, or forget it, I'm not going to work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. So it's a very different video because yesterday I made the choice to get up early and run, but today's another day. Today's another day that I'm faced with another choice to make. So I'm making the choice again to put my shoes on early in the morning and get active again. So make the right decision. So I'm about 15 miles from home, and I often talk about taking souls. This morning, this person, I usually train alone. This person wanted to run with me. And I said, fine, we'll run 15. This morning comes, there's storms coming in this way, and the person calls and said, hey, why don't we do it tomorrow? Taking souls is when I told the motherfucker, I'm gonna run 15 today, and I'll run with you again tomorrow. That's what taking souls is about. Don't worry about the elements and what's going on. You gotta get out there and get it. And that's taking souls, and obviously, he wasn't the only one that thought about taking the day off, because the storm is coming in right now, and there's not a soul out here but me. All right, it is 3 o'clock in the morning, and if you see here, it says 74 minutes on there. The phone actually flips over at 100 minutes, double zeros. So I've been stretching out now for 174 minutes. And you're probably wondering why I'm stretching out so late. Had to do a 10-mile run. Had to go to the gym. I'm writing my book, which is taking me a long time. Had about 600 emails and different posts. I had to respond to different comments. And you know what? If I went to sleep right now, it would haunt me. It would bother me that I missed my stretch. So life's about sacrifice. Life's about having self-discipline. Life's about focus, all those things. And there's 24 hours in a day. Make it work to your advantage. And yes, I do get plenty of sleep, but life is all about sacrifice to achieve what you want. A couple weeks ago, I did a video called Taking Souls. Taking Souls comes with a very particular look. And in competition, you're looking to break the other person down. And in breaking that person down, what happens to that person who's being broke down, they have an empty look in their eyes. I call it, you've taken their soul. You own space in their head. And owning space in their head means they're unable to perform at their best now because they're thinking about you. For instance, let's say there's a boxing match, 12 rounds, going at it, heavyweight champion. This guy's getting his ass kicked for 11 rounds. For 11 rounds, he continues to get back up and get back up and get back up. By that 12th round, the guy who's been beating the guy's ass, you're going to start to see a certain look on his face. His soul is leaving. If you can spot that look while you're getting your ass beat, you'll win the fight. Stay in the fight. This morning I woke up with a slack-jawed, poopy pants mentality. I've been traveling an awful lot, kind of wore down a little bit. I believe in taking days off. I think days off are real important for recovery and all that stuff. But I don't believe in taking days off because your mentality is just feeling sorry for yourself. I deserve this, or I've earned that mentality. And that's what I was saying to myself. Today's self-talk was horrible. So we all have one voice, and that one voice is very powerful that says, hey, you've earned this, you deserve this, take time off, all that stuff. Start developing the other voice that fights that voice. When it's not a designated day off, I don't care if it's running, swimming, biking, studying. If it's not a day off, don't take a day off. And start developing that voice that fights the weaker voice. So remember that. We all have one voice, work on the other voice also. Today I'm attempting to do the Mount Everest challenge on the Jacob's ladder. Most people it takes them 6 to 30 days to complete the challenge. One guy, during my research, did it in one day. It was an amazing feat what he did, but he used these handrails right here to do it. As you can tell, you're not using your upper body. The upper body really gets worked out doing this exercise. So my goal is to climb 29,035 feet in 6 to 8 hours. All right, I didn't go anywhere. Made a lot of new demons. I nicknamed this thing the lie detector. There is no lying in this machine. I'm about 60 feet from being on top of Mount Everest in my mind. This was a big cookie in the cookie jar today. I wanted to quit so many times, but you got to think about the thing you have in victory. So right now, if I were to quit, I would never know that in 30 feet, I could have done 29,035 feet. I can't thank you all enough for the support today. Very long day. I like doing things like that every now and then, just to kind of keep the refrigerator empty. You know, it's important to always stay hungry and never get too civilized. Yes, life should be fun also, but it should also be challenging to you. You should always be wanting to grow. Towards the end, the last hour, I couldn't get enough water in me. I went through all this water pretty much in that time frame. I went through several peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bananas, tons of goos, salt tablets, all that stuff. And it was just being in that machine was no joke. But I learned a lot from it. It was, like I said, it was a great cookie jar. And I can't thank you all again. Around 16 years ago today, I was graduating Navy SEAL training. I was pulling off I thought was impossible. I went to a recruiter's office, weighing 300 pounds, low self-esteem, trying to figure out how am I going to find self-esteem in myself. I said, if I graduate SEAL training, I may start the process of doing that. Went there, had to lose 100 pounds really fast. So my idea was to go out and run 4 miles the next day as fast as I can to start losing weight. I got to a quarter of a mile and walked home. I realized that all those insecurities, when things got hard for me, those insecurities came back. I had to do a live autopsy on myself to figure out what was causing these insecurities to constantly come back, constantly roost in my head, constantly dominate my every thought. Every time something got bad, every time something got hard, these things would always come back and haunt me. I had to figure it out and overcome it. I'm about 19 and a 0.2 miles into a run, and people want to know about 2007. 2007, I did the Hurt 100. I did Big Knotton 150. I did Badwater 135. I did Leadville. I did the Bear 100. I did AC 100. I did the Plain 100. I did a couple of the hundreds and I forget them. I did 7 50-mile races. I did, I think, 5 30 50Ks. Basically, how I did it was I was very focused on the race that was in front of me. I was focused on that. I didn't think about anything else the next race. And what was really big was my recovery. I didn't run a whole bunch in between. What I did was basically I would rest. I run about 20 miles a week and I run a race. So keep your mind in the game. Well, I've been in a lot of training and I've seen a lot of great men, strong men quit. And I'd ask them, you know, how'd they train? And they say, I swam, I ran, did all these things. And the one thing they never talk about is the mental aspect of it. So you put a person who's physically trained in a mentally tough situation and things happen real bad. What that means is, you know, you put a guy in cold water and he's physically trained and he's not mentally trained about all of his insecurities in life and everything else he hasn't dealt with. He's going to make up a lot of excuses on why he needs to quit something. And he's going to wonder why. What happened? I trained so hard. I physically trained so hard. But that mental aspect of everything is the most important thing. So don't set your goals and everything without making sure you set your mind right and handle your insecurities. Let's talk about something I don't talk about enough. Hard work. Or I have the 3 H's. Humility, honesty, and hard work. So as far as that goes, you gotta be honest with yourself. Are you smart? Are you not smart? Are you in good shape? Are you not in good shape? Are you fat? Whatever you are that you're not happy with, it takes a lot of hard work to improve that about yourself. For me, I wasn't smart, wasn't the best athlete, so most people could study for an hour while I was studying for 6 and 7 hours for a test. To run 100-mile races, I had to put in 120-mile weeks. Somebody was putting 70. For the pull-up record, I failed 3 times. I did 6,000 to 7,000 pull-ups in 8-9 months and still failed. At the end of the day, hard work may not be enough. You still may fail. Just stay at it and go at it. All right, everybody, you see me smiling. Why? Because it kind of sucks out here in New York City. They were expecting some big blizzard to come in, so I was kind of praying to the snow gods for worse weather to come in, because why? In worse weather, we get better. I'm kind of happy, but I was hoping it'd be a lot worse. I'm going to do a nice little run today, and no, I'm not thinking it's warm and 70. I like to live in reality. It sucks. It's about 7 inches of snow, and I'm extremely ecstatic right now. Pain is just a feeling. You see it's happiness? Why? Because it sucks. That's why I'm so happy right now. Merry Christmas.